मोहतरम और मोअज़्ज़ज़ मौलाना सैयद इबरार हुसैन नकवी वो तशरीफ लाएं और अपने मखसूस अंदाज में ज़िक्र मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद अलैहिस्सलाम बयान फरमाएं। मौलाना इबरार नकवी उनकी सेहत और सलामती के लिए भी बुलंद सलवात।
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद बुलंद सलवात। नाराए तकबीर,
अल्लाहु अकबर,
नाराए तकबीर,
अल्लाहु अकबर,
नाराए रिसालत,
या रसूलल्लाह,
नाराए रिसालत,
या रसूलल्लाह,
नारा हैदरी, नारा हैदरी, 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 नारा पंतरी से लख नारा हैदरी।
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيد الأشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين طبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وطبيب جسمنا أبي القاسم محمد والصلاة والسلام على أهله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إن الحسين مصباح الهدى وسفينة النجاة. Loud salawat please. For the forgiveness of our sins and the sins of all of our marhumin, together with the loudest of your voices, a loud salawat. That have still not visited Karbala, next year if you want to go for the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain, with the loudest of your voices, a loud salawat. For the zuhur of our 12th Imam, Imam Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman, a loud salawat. Allah Azza wa Jal, the Merciful, has blessed every single insan with the ability to learn something in his life. Yani no matter in what capacity, every single person has the ability to learn something in his life. Some people are quick learners, and we have some people who are very slow in learning something. But this ni'mat that Allah Azza wa Jal has given us, known as aql, is that ni'mat from Allah Azza wa Jal, that A'imma alayhi salatu wassalam say that the more you use this ni'mat, the quicker this ni'mat will get. Yani the more you sit down and you ponder and you think about why Allah Azza wa Jal has sent you into this dunya, what purpose Allah Azza wa Jal has given you in life, the more you question yourself, the sharper the intellect, the aql will become. And you see that there are some people that when Allah gives them a ni'mat, when they are blessed with something, if you do not use that ni'mat, then over time what happens, that ni'mat is slowly removed from you. Yani, you see that the older the people get, they say that our aql, our intellect, our brain is not at that capacity that we can learn those things that we could have learned when we were young. The Holy Prophet says that make use of this aql before it gets weak. Yani this aql, this ni'mat from Allah Azza wa Jal, the more you use it, the more you ponder over daily activities, the sharper your mind will get. For the previous 50 days, since the moon of Muharram was seen, up to today, the 20th of Safar, yani the Chahlam, the Arbaeen of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu was salam, Allah Azza wa Jal has given us another ni'mat, another blessing. And that blessing is known as the zikr of Aba Abdullah Hussain. Now if we want to attain this ni'mat from Allah Azza wa Jal, then we need to understand our purpose when we come to the Majlis of Aba Abdullah. Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam says that when a person attends the gathering of Aba Abdullah Hussain, Allah Azza wa Jal instructs all of His angels that that person who is sitting in the majlis of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam, if he is doing dua, then Allah orders the angels to say Ameen upon your dua. And then the Imam says that if a ill person attends the gathering, the place where the zikr of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam is taking place, then Allah Azza wa Jal will put shifa in the atmosphere where the zikr of Aba Abdullah is taking place. Yani all those mareez that are looking for shifa, the best place is that place where the zikr of Imam Hussain is taking place. People say that we have not been given the opportunity that we can go to Karbala. Someone came to the 6th Imam and said, Mawla, if we cannot go to Karbala, has Allah Azza wa Jal taken that ni'mat away from us? Look, Allah has given you aql. Your aql will get better if you use your intellect. Allah Azza wa Jal has given you thousands of ni'mat, but the more you use them, the better Allah will reward you with more ni'mat. But look at the ni'mat of the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah Hussain. Imam Jafar Sadiq says, O person, if you cannot go to the land of Karbala, if you cannot visit Aba Abdullah Hussain, then go to the roof of your house or go underneath the sky and say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Allah will reward you as if you have done the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah Hussain. Yani every single ni'mat You have to gather, you have to find. But this ni'mat of the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain, if you cannot go to Karbala, then just by sending salam upon Hussain, no matter, even if you do not know Arabic, even in English, in Urdu, in Punjabi, in whatever language you speak, just to say, Mawla, my salutations are upon you. My salam is upon you. Imam says you get the sawab of the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah. Look how Kareem is Allah. How Rahim is Allah. That any other ni'mat, you want to get the sawab of the ziyarat of the house of Allah, Allah says, come to my house, do umrah, do hajj, and then you will get sawab of seeing my house. You want to get sawab for the ziyarat of my Prophet, go to his rawza, send salutations, and you will get sawab for the ziyarat of Rasulullah. But look at the ziyarat of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. No matter where you are in the world, just by saying Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah, at your own home, in your own land, in your own space, you will get the sawab for the ziyarat of Hussain. That is how merciful is Allah when it comes to Hussain ibn Ali. This is just by sending salam, you get the sawab of the ziyarat of Hussain. Just imagine listening to the fazail and the masaib of Imam Hussain. What will Allah give you? These 50 days known as Ayam-e-Aza, the Ayam of Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam, the Ayam of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain, they come with a message. Muharram, Safar, up to the 10th of Rabiul Awwal, these Ayam are not just so that you cry for Hussain. Even though there is no ibadat greater than the azadari of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. But by crying for Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, there are certain responsibilities on your shoulders. And this is what I would like to discuss in the limited time that I have, so that we can take something away from the ayam of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. If we want to become Hussaini, if we want to become proper azadar, if we want to become proper believers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, then what is it that we can do to become better in such a way that on that day, when every single person will be running and trying to find shelter on the day of Qiyamah, Imam Jafar Sadiq says that that person who has been crying for Aba Abdullah al-Hussain, every single person will be thirsty on the day of Qiyamah except that soul who has cried for Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. Yani just by crying for Hussain, Allah will reward you in this dunya, and you will also be rewarded in the hereafter. What big azaz do we have than this, that on that day, when no one will wait for anyone, on that day, the mother of Imam Hussain, Sayyida Fatimatu Zahra, Salamullah alayha, she will be waiting at the door of Jannah. The Rawayat says that those people that have been crying for Imam Hussain, that have been doing the azadari of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain, look at your maqam, that when no one will be waiting for anyone, on that day, the daughter of Rasulullah will be waiting at the door of Jannah, and she will say, Oh Allah, I will not enter paradise until every single azadar of my son Hussein ibn Ali also enters paradise. Yani this is your maqam. This is the ni'mat that Allah Azza wa Jal has given you. That the angel of death never waits for anyone, never asks for anyone's permission. But when it comes to the door of Fatimatul Zahra, the angel of death is seen asking, Ya Zahra, do you give me permission to enter your house? That Sayyida, that Tahira, that Siddiqatul Kubra Salamullah alayha will be waiting on the door of Jannat, and she will be saying, welcome, O Azadar, you have been crying for my son Hussein. Then if we have such maqam, such status, then what responsibilities do we have? Every single person needs to go through a phase where he discovers himself, known as self-discovery. Now in our culture, we are very quick in discovering the faults of other people. And you see this. A person never questions what he is doing. But if we see another mu'min, another azadar, another Shia of Ali doing something he shouldn't, we are quicker than anything in this dunya to put tu'mat and ilzam on him. We never look for a second that, am I any better than that person? If we see that someone is not reading namaz, it could be that he has a valid reason. He might be waiting to do wudu so he can do his namaz. He can have several reasons. Imam says that until you do not see someone doing something wrong, and even if you do see someone, the Imam says, make 70 excuses for yourself so that you know that this person is innocent. 70 excuses. But what do we do when we see someone doing something wrong? We are quick to raise a finger. But we forget that when we are raising one finger towards that person, how many fingers are coming towards us? Have we ever sat for a second and thought that I am raising a finger at this person, but when I am questioned on that day about what I have done for the vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib, what answer do I have? So we need to go through the stage of self-discovery. Now you might be questioning, especially my youngsters, that what is self-discovery? Now I would only like to discuss this, and inshallah we will move on to the Masaib of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain. There are 3 stages, 3 steps in which a person can go through self-discovery, finding himself, understanding himself. What is the first stage? The first stage is to understand what is the essence, what is the meaning of self-discovery. Now, if someone shows you a book and says to you that this book is about, for example, a certain flower, or it is about a certain car, just by looking at that book, have you gained knowledge of what is inside the book? No. Not unless you take that book, you take time to study, and then you will have knowledge, ilm of what is inside that book. The first step, the essence of self-discovery, is understanding why Allah Azza wa Jal has created us. Yani Allah Azza wa Jal has created everything with a purpose. The purpose of this mic is so that every single person can hear my voice. The purpose of these speakers are so that my voice is then travel where people cannot hear me. Every single thing which is man-made has a purpose in this dunya. Do you think that Allah Azza wa Jal has created so many insan, they are without a purpose in life? For my youngsters, my children, try to understand the first step towards discovering who you are is understanding the essence of self-discovery. Understanding why Allah created you. Understanding why there are millions of Muslims in the dunya, but there are only a few chosen that have the vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Every single person claims to be a Muslim. But then why is it that we can sit here and count on our fingers those countries that are associated with the vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib? Why is it that we can count those cities that have the love and the vilayat of Ahlul Bayt as a center point? There is a difference. And this is what you need to ponder over. Think about why from millions of people, there are thousands that are on the doorstep of Ali Muhammad. The news that you have all heard, that more than 22 million people from the 1st of Safar up to the 20th of Safar, more than 22 million people have done the ziyarat of Imam Hussain. Who are these blessed people? You know, you see a small gathering is in a small town. Let me give you an example of the current situation of Pakistan in regards to the electricity bills. In small cities, few hundred people have gathered. Every single channel is talking about these demonstrations. Why is it that 22 million people, 4 times more than the people that go on Hajj, are in Karbala, and no one is talking about these people? It is a question, because these people have still not discovered who Imam Hussain is. Not every single person can have the vilayat of Ahlul Bayt. Only those people that have been chosen by Fatima Zahra. Salli ala 22 million people. We have a narration. People think that every year you see that Makkah, they are doing some projects and they are making the haram bigger and bigger and bigger. Those people that have visited Karbala 50 years ago, that can say that the inner circle of where the Zari of Imam Hussain is still same as it was 50 years ago. But how is it that 22 million people have gone for the ziyarat? Not one person is hurt. Not one person is damaged in any way. Why? Because Imam Sadiq says that when people go for the ziyarat of Imam Hussain, the land of Karbala opens up to accept the Zair of Abu Abdullah Hussain. And the land of Karbala opens itself. And you see that last year more than 19 million people did the ziyarat. And this year, more than 22 million people have done the ziyarat of Imam Hussain. So if you want to be a part of those lucky people that go for the ziyarat of Imam Hussain on the day of Arbaeen next year, a loud salawat please. So the first step towards discovering who you are is understanding the essence of self-discovery. The second thing is understanding those steps that you can take towards discovering who you are. Yani a person wants to recite salah, he wants to recite namaz. It is not as easy as just standing on the musalla. There are many things that go behind the preparation of a person standing on that prayer mat. You need to learn how to keep yourself park. You need to learn how to do ablution. You need to learn where and where you can't read salah. You need to understand the wajibat of salah. And then you can stand on the prayer mat and recite your salah. Before you can discover who you are, you need to understand the steps that A'imma alayhi salatu wassalam have said, that if you do this, you will become this, and you will have an understanding of who Allah is. Yani, who can we get these steps from? From those people that would question Rasulullah on every single thing? Or will these steps be taken from those people that explained first and then Allah revealed afterwards? These are those blessed people known as Ali Muhammad. Yani, what is the difference between a companion of Rasulullah and the family of Rasulullah? The family are those people that understand or explain to people what happened inside the house of Rasulullah, and the companions are those that saw Ali Muhammad doing something and then they narrated that to other companions. This is the difference between a Sahabi and that person who is known as Ali Rasul. And we, Alhamdulillah, the Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen, have taken every single aspect of our life through Ali Muhammad. Yani, the second steps that you can take is understanding how you can make yourself a better person. And the third thing, which is most important, because the first two steps are of no use if you do not understand the third step. First is understanding the essence of self-discovery. Second thing is to understand the steps that you can take towards making yourself a better mu'min. And the third is maintaining through practically implementing on what you have learned from Ali Muhammad. Yani, these 50 days from the time the moon of Muharram was seen up to today, the Arbaeen of Imam Hussain, every single thing that you have learned in the Majlis of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, every single saying, every single hadith, every single ayat of the Quran that you have heard, it won't help you until after Ayam-e-Aza you do not practically bring that into your daily life. You need to realize that our purpose is not just to listen to the fazail and masa'ib of Ahlul Bayt, but try to make ourselves in such a way that Muhammad and Ali Muhammad are pleased with our actions. Every single thing that you decide to do, whether you are in school, college, university, whether you are working, your actions should reflect who you are. Through your actions, people should understand he is a follower of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Not through by you telling someone, I am a Azadar, I am a believer of Ahlul Bayt, I am a follower of Imam Hussain, alayhi salatu wasalam, but as they say, your actions should speak louder than your words. Memorizing a hadith, listening to an ayat of the Quran is of no use until you actually practically bring that into your daily life. And this is the open university of Imam Hussain. This Majlis-e-Aza, where the zikr of Imam Hussain is taking place, this is that university that you do not need to have any prior qualifications to attend the Majlis of Abu Abdullah Hussain. But the only thing that you need to have is an open heart to understand who Imam Hussain is. Yani Imam Hussain left Medina to change the ummah of Rasul. Why is it that within 50 years of the passing of Rasulullah, people forgot who Ali Muhammad are? Why is it that within a few days of the passing of Rasulullah, people came to burn the door of Fatima? Sadar, when we come to the Majlis of Abu Abdullah Hussain, those that have traveled from Sham, that pious Lady Fatima Zahra who has come from Jannatul Baqi, she has come to gather your tears that you are crying for Imam Hussain. Why is it that within a few days, that pious lady for whom Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would stand and not sit until Fatima Zahra would sit? Why is it that for many hours this daughter of Rasulullah stood in the darbar of Muslims? Why is it that within a few years Ali was killed in the state of Salah? Why is it that within a few years of the passing of Rasulullah, Imam Hassan alayhi salatu was salam's janazah had to enter the house the second time? The first time the janazah left, the coffin of Imam Hassan was white. When it returned, the coffin of Imam Hassan was red. Why? Because these Muslims fired arrows into the janazah of Imam Hassan. What is the difference between Hassan and Hussein? Arrows were fired into the body of Imam Hassan, but the blessed body of Hussein was on top of these arrows. That is the difference between Hassan and Hussein. Azadar, those that have come to cry for Imam Hussein, the Holy Prophet told his ummah, these are my sons Hassan and Hussein. They are the leaders of the youth of paradise. Love them if you want to love me. But what ajr risalat did these Muslims give to the family of Rasulullah? Today I want to mention the masaib of the daughter of Hussein, that 4-year-old Sakina who was slapped in Karbala. From Karbala to Sham, Sayyida Sakina was slapped. She was the most slapped child in Karbala. Azadaro, when Imam Hussain left Medina, Imam Hussain left with 48 children. But we have that Imam Hussain, when he said al-wida to these children, why is it that only a few returned to Medina? We see that from Karbala to Sham, every child that fell from the camel, its mother said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Azadar of those that have young daughters at home, this 4-year-old child of Hussein, Sakina. Sakina. She loved her father Hussein so much that on the 10th of Muharram, when Shimar was next to Imam Hussain, I do not have the power to read what he was doing to Hussein. But when this daughter of Hussein came close, she said, "Oh Father Hussein, I want to put my head on your chest for the last time." Azadaro, there were so many arrows in the body of Hussein. When Sakina came from the front, her arms would not reach Imam Hussain. She came from one side, she came from the other side, she came from the back, and she said, "Oh Hussein, oh my father, there are so many arrows in you that Sakina cannot hug you." Another of this 4-year-old child of Hussein was in the Zindan. She was crying so much for her father that Shimar came and he said to Sajjad, "Oh Sajjad, why don't you tell Sakina to be quiet?" Imam Sajjad says, "Oh Shimar, give her the head of her father Hussein, and Sakina will become quiet." And they brought the head of Hussein. As they are bringing the head of Hussein, Sakina says, "Marhaba, my father. Oh my father, I am welcoming you. Oh father, I used to sleep on your chest, but oh father, today Sakina is going to lay down. Oh father, come and sleep on the chest of Sakina." As she held the chest, as she held the head of her father, Hussein ibn Ali, Sakina began to cry. 3 things she said. She said, "Oh father, when you left me, my ears have become bloody. Oh father, you have left me, my rukhsar have become red. Oh father, look at Sakina, my hair has become white." Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Ya Ilahi, for the sake of this day of Arbaeen, for the sake of the zikr of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam, give us no sadness other than the sadness of Aba Abdullah Hussain. Ya Ilahi, give us the tawfiq so that we can guide our children towards the azadari and vilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Ya Ilahi, forgive our sins and the sins of our marhumeen. Ya Ilahi, give us the ma'rifat of Imam Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman. Allahumma ajil li waliyyika al-faraj. Allahumma ajil li waliyyika al-faraj. Allahumma ajil li waliyyika al-faraj. Rabbi salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad birahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. For the acceptance of your du'as, come you have 3 loud salawats.